Now, let's service a DT Swiss hub. This is a DT Swiss 240 hub. This works for 350. This will work for any ratchet-based DT Swiss hub. Okay, so we don't need any tools. What you will need is grease and some rags or some paper towels, right? Now, to make my life easier, I just rip these in 3 or 4 or 3, depending, right? Put them on the side. So to get to the actual components inside the hub, we don't need to remove the cassette. That's the beauty about these XD drivers. You just pull up the entire hub. Just, whoops, just like that. Wow, everything popped out. That was rare. So you just equal force all the way around, straight up, basically. Now, when we pull them up, we will have exposed, typically this should have been like that, right? So we will have exposed one spring, first ratchet, second ratchet, come on, what the, second ratchet, second spring, and then what you probably need is a paper towel to get to the spacer, but there's a spacer at the bottom and the spacer, right? So first things first is we are going to clean the inside of the hub, remove as much old grease as possible from the teeth that are in here. Okay, so you grab a paper towel and you just grind back and forth and you try and absorb and rub off as much of the grease as possible. Okay, that's why I cut them short. Actually, I take them, fold them, squish them down in there so there's lots of pointy edges, and then just spin them around just like that. All right, so another thing we want to clean is this rim around here. This is what seals your driver to the hub. We don't want any dirt over there creating any spaces. So for water to get in or dirt to get in general, right? So this guy's clean for now. Now we go on to cleaning our hub components, right? So we'll start off with the spacer, still clean. Let's take all the old grease off the spacer. All right, just like that. Put them on the side. Then we'll clean the springs quick. One spring. This is a quick job. It could be done anywhere, really. 2 springs, right? So then we clean our ratchets. Now, ratchet, I go individually between each tooth over here on the outside, try to remove as much grease as possible. All right, it only takes a few extra seconds. Just use your thumbnail or fingernail, get in between there. And this guy's done. Now on the inside, it's a 54 tooth ratchet. It's hollow on the inside. Take a paper towel, fold them, put them in there, twist the ratchet, and it'll take out any grease that was in there, trapped in there. There goes tooth 1, or ratchet 1. And let's do ratchet 2. Okay, clean between the teeth. You don't have to go this detailed, but I do it. Why not? So we get a fresh layer of grease on everything when we're done. Okay. So all our components are clean, right? Now we got to grease them. So, contrary to popular belief, they say do not put too much grease. I actually like putting quite a bit of grease. I have never had an issue with a hub slipping based off how much grease I put on there. The reason I like putting more grease than what they recommend, it quiets down the hub a hell of a lot. And I mean a lot. So first we're going to start off with a little bit of grease on the axle. All right, let's put on the axle. The reason we're going to put on the axle is because we're going to put our spacer on here. Start off with the spacer, slide them in, and the spacer is going to pull that grease down to the bottom basically. Next, just put a thin coat of grease on the springs. Now if you notice the springs, you have a wide side and a narrow side. Narrow sides always face the ratchets. Wide side faces the hub and the driver. So in this case, wide side down, since the first one going in. Just like that, okay? Then our first ratchet. As mentioned, I actually put a good amount of grease on these guys. I like it when they're quiet, because they get loud real quick if you don't, and then they get too loud, just like i9 hubs, which I have, and those things are ridiculously loud. So one thing I have experimented over the years is how much grease is too much grease, and I'll be honest, I have never had an issue with these hubs slipping based off grease. Right? So put a little bit more. This little bottle's running out actually. All right. And the more grease I put, the longer they stay quieter, right? So that's ratchet 1. We slip him in. Now we do ratchet 2. And I own, right now, 4 of these hubs. And I've owned quite a bit over the years. They have never failed me once. Whereas my i9s, they failed me. They absolutely failed me. All right. Do the back. Then teeth side up on the first one, teeth side down on the second one. Just like that, okay? Then we take our second spring, again, narrow side, wide side, narrow side down, wide side up at the end, okay? Now we're pretty much ready. We put on our hub. But before we put on our hub, let's clean the teeth on the inside of the driver and the hub best we can, just like that. Now another thing we want to clean over here is, again, just like we cleaned the seal on the hub, we want to clean the outside of the rubber seal on the driver. Again, we don't want any spaces for water to get in or dirt. All right, so then take this guy, invert him, and put the center thing, and evenly all the way around, just push him down, and then when we hear that little click, he's in. And look how quiet he is. Perfect. And like I said, I've never had an issue slipping. And that is it. That's how we grease, clean and grease do a service on a DT Swiss ratchet style hub. For all you beginners out there, hopefully this helps out. Like, subscribe, dislike, leave any comments below if there's anything you'd like to add. It would be appreciated. And looking forward to the next video. Have a great day. Take care.